How is let's go in Arabic?
Yalla.
Yalla yalla.
I don't know, actually.
We're
might
entering
be
the
bad.
new era. We're entering the new phase of the EuroLeague expansion where we will have to learn more languages. Now, 20 teams starting from a 25-26 season. To the current pool of the EuroLeague teams, except from Alba, of course, they're going to be replaced by Hapoel Tel Aviv, EuroCup winners. We're going to have Valencia Basket and Dubai Basketball for the next year. 20 teams, 4 more games. So instead of 34 regular season games, we're going to have 38. The same format, 6 teams make the playoff straight, 4 teams are going to enter the play-in. And that's it, I guess.
Are you happy?
I'm happy. Yeah.
Yeah?
I think this is a good move for the EuroLeague.
Because of the money?
I think it will make opportunities for the EuroLeague as an organization and teams to make more money. It's gonna help them to make more money already, like having more home games. But I mean, by entering the Middle East market, I think that helps, and I think that I'm super happy for Valencia Basket to have some sustainability, some granted future in the EuroLeague for at least 3 years because their license is for 3 years. I think they fully deserve it with this new arena project. I mean, they were already a family member of the EuroLeague, but they were like this kind of. That's going to be a bad example. Adopted kid that for some reason you're just kicking out of your home at some point, and then you're going to, I miss him, and I'm not sure if it actually works that way, but like something that shouldn't be, or there are some, services who take your kids away if you're treating them bad and put in those institutions, and then after, some time you have a chance to have them back. But again, you're just being violent. I mean,
Valencia organization, if you just listen to all of this, forget it. Donatas is here.
No, Valencia is cool. I'm just telling about this kicking out process,
Yeah,
Valencia is not
understand.
adopted kid. That's just for clarification.
And you're supporting them today with this beautiful orange.
I knew it.
For sure you knew it. You broke the news, basically, about that. I don't know how I feel about this, actually, because yes, we're going to have more competitive teams. Making the playoffs for middle teams like Žalgiris will be even more harder, I think, than it was before. As Aza Pachulia once said, nothing's easy. And but my thoughts are about the players. What's the impact of 4 more games towards the injuries? We've seen too many injuries this season already, and having 38 games. Plus, for example, Spanish teams playing super competitive ACB every weekend is not going to help. And the games this season, I felt, the regular season games have been less intense than in before. And I think they were more offensive-oriented already this season in the EuroLeague. And I think Evan Fournier mentioned something towards this conversation. So is EuroLeague with this expansion making another step towards the NBA style of regular season, like a little bit less intensity, a little more focused on the offense, on just building the right system instead of, X's and O's and all that stuff, because you have more games. We had already 7 double weeks this season. It's going to be 8 or 9, I think, this upcoming year.
9, yeah.
9?
2 more.
Wow, 9 double weeks. It's a lot. So I'm not sure. I see the downsides, but I also see the pros for this edition. So I think we'll have to see.
I have one thing that I'm happy about is Valencia coming back and replacing Alba. The other 2 teams, I mean, Dubai Basketball is a new project. I'm never very happy about new projects entering EuroLeague after 1 season, essentially, and having no fan base. It's a new market. I understand from the financial standpoint, but in general, as a basketball fan, I'm not excited about Dubai Basketball. Hapoel, we know the ambitions and all that, and when we were doing with Donatas this tier list of best candidates for expansion, I put it in B tier, he put it in A tier, I put Dubai in C tier, you put it in B tier, a bit higher by 1, both of those teams, but out of those teams, I would have liked another Spanish team probably instead of one of those 2. what I really think about in terms of impact to the EuroLeague player pool is where I'm concerned. Because when you have more teams, you have less players to, or you have the same amount of players that you had before, but now you need to split it amongst more teams. So now you'll have 20 teams instead of 18. And competitiveness wise, we saw Alba this season. I mean, Alba this season doesn't even probably won't even go into the final. I don't know the Bundesliga situation, but they're not good in the German league. So that's another story. But generally speaking, competitiveness wise, you want, I think, fewer teams than more teams, because even in Lithuanian league, when the owner or the director tried to do 12 teams in Lithuania, which is really hard to do when you have a certain Lithuanian limit you want to have of Lithuanian players, you just run out of talent. And okay, these two teams coming in, they'll have a lot of money. I know that much for sure. So maybe, but that might just take away from the other guys.
I cannot fully agree with you, because I think that first, Hapoel was already borderline EuroLeague team with the roster that they have, and they played in the Euro Cup. They're just gonna add like 2-3 more players, but it's like
from where? From other EuroLeague teams, probably.
Yeah, but who is the EuroLeague player today? That's another question. Eric McCollum was BCL player yesterday. Now he's making huge shots in the semifinal game. I mean, I'm just saying that on paper it looks like, it's going to be like 25 more players. But it's not like that all those teams will grab players from the current market pool. There are already EuroLeague level players on Hapoel team. Dubai.
I mean, Paris came in and showed that.
True. Valencia Basket, I mean, they were already almost EuroLeague team playing in the Euro Cup. They're going to make some adjustments, but it's not like they're going to need 30 new EuroLeague players on their rosters. No. So, I don't know.
But guys, don't be surprised if there's going to be like bottom 4 teams that are very clear bottom 4 or bottom 5 or whatever. Because now we had maybe bottom 3, 4...
But I'm not sure who's bottom team today in the EuroLeague with Alba out. Okay, you can say Asvel. Who knows how Paris is going to look like?
Virtus.
Other than that, probably Virtus. But I think that's the thing. Hapoel is already a playoff contender.
I don't think any of these 3 teams are going to be bottom 3.
For sure.
No, I'm not saying that those teams will be.
3 very competitive
they're
teams.
They're gonna definitely take away from some of the other teams. I think, especially Dubai, if they'll have a lot of money to spare.
I mean, that's. I'm not defending Dubai, but that's already a not a narrative, but bad stereotype. I mean, especially Hapoel, I would say, they're crashing the market. They're offering Elijah Bryant 2.5 million euros. They're offering those millions to all of those players. Dubai, on their current roster, they're gonna add 2 players over 2 or 2.5 million euros. They're gonna keep the core of their current players that they have, like the guys, I don't know, like Avudo Abbas, Klemen Prepelic, Bertens, and Jusic. There are some other guys on the team. So they're gonna have like maybe 4 or 5 new players, but only 2 gonna be like 2 million or something. They're gonna respect.
But then they're like a mid team, like bottom to mid team max.
Could be for the first year. Then. Years to come, we're gonna.
How was this? Maybe you know some inside information. How was this decided? Was this a vote? What was this?
Teams were voting on Zoom. The whole idea was presented. There was no need to meet again because they all met in the Final Four in Abu Dhabi, and the whole idea was presented on Friday's meeting last week. So they kind of prepared different projects and they voted for this 20-team expansion with the current formats. And there was a Zoom vote. And just for clarification, not everyone got those 3-year licenses. So 3-year licenses went for Valencia, Monaco, Partizan, Zvezda, and Virtus. Dubai gonna get a 5-year license because this is the term for the EuroLeague to maximize the markets and to check if it's actually worth to be there, to have the Middle East team in the EuroLeague, if it's financially beneficial or not.
And you're giving them like this safety net that, okay, for 5 years, you can build something. Because you know how it is when you have only 1-year license. Like with the Euro Cup winners. They're like, Okay, so do we invest or do we, do we go for it or
Yeah.
we don't? Because next season we might not be in the EuroLeague. So, okay, I get the 5 years in that sense.
And it depends. Like Hapoel, they got only 1 year license, Eurocup champion license, but they're like going all in basically. The way they're building their roster, the names they tried to get on the team. Paris basketball, there's a chance that they're gonna be also approved only to a 1 year license because EuroLeague wants to make sure if they can be sustainable financially, if they can build a new, good, solid roster, if they can increase the budget, and what's actually the market value for the EuroLeague to have a team in Paris.
But that's wild. So if they can't replicate their success next season, I mean,
Which is very unlikely that they would.
it is hard to do. If you are going to lose half the team, to build a new one in like only this summer, like teams can have a bad season. So what if they have a bad season? Then EuroLeague will say that it's not going to be worth it.
No, they're not gonna base on the results and standings. They're gonna see how they develop the project.
I
if
hope
there's
so.
an idea, like
Yeah.
I mean, because they already had Alba, they already have Asvel and their problems. So they just want to make sure.
Some teams will have to lose. It's going to be super competitive. 20 teams and only 8 make the playoffs.
It reminds me of previous years when it used to be 8 teams make the playoffs without any play-in opportunity and 18 teams total. So you have more than half not making the playoffs. Now it's going to be again the half. Yeah, so maybe the most balanced way, and that's the NBA's way, I guess. 30 teams
And
are
16.
competing, 16 make the playoffs.
But that's more than
With
a
the
half.
with the play-in, it's 20 teams.
Yeah, it's more than a half.
That is
It's not
different.
the same.
It is different.
This season, my friend played in a 20 league tournament, and they had the system where top 6 make the playoffs directly. 7 and 8 go straight to the second round of the play-in, and 9, 10, 11, 12 play the first round of the play-in. Teams who win play the 7 and 8th, and then
I get it.
It's like you additionally basically make it more interesting during the whole regular season because you involve 12 teams, not 10, so it's more than a half. And teams that are maybe in the 15th, 16th, 18th place still have a chance with, like, let's say 5 or 6 regular season games, because only 10 to make the play-in, it could be that we're going to have again a story where 3 or 4 teams are out of the race
and
after first round.
unlike in the NBA, you don't get any perks for it. So
Yeah, exactly. So you remember
losing
what
sucks
Asvel
in
did.
Europe.
you remember what Asvel did a couple of years ago, like Nando De Colo not playing in the EuroLeague, playing in the French league. On the weekends, they're resting veteran guys in the EuroLeague and not the vice versa. You don't want that if you're EuroLeague. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if it would be a long-term 20-team format, you could start to think about the ideas, how to change the format, how to expand this pool of teams competing for the playoffs. But the idea is that to have this transition year with 20 teams and then to expand beyond.
Even more.
The next step is 24
Wow.
teams. I'm not sure if straight after the next season. It depends on the political situation. War is happening. Israeli situation is also concerning, but Russia-Ukraine war is basically keeping 1, 2, or 3 Russian teams from entering the EuroLeague. So in year 1 or year 2, there might be some changes, and the whole idea is to expand to 24 teams. Then we would have 2 conferences with 12 teams, basically less games.
Basically NBA.
33 games, and yeah, just more teams.
Okay.
Basically NBA.
Interesting times in Europe. I would say it like this.
And for Lithuanians, I think this is a big topic because, as you mentioned, Žalgiris is increasing the budget. The team it feels like financially getting stronger, and you're getting this competition. The current teams already, they're also increasing their financial strength, and now you're adding those. Not saying powerhouses, although Hapoel's payroll going to be impressive, but Dubai is also going to be competitive. Valencia is also going to be competitive. So, it's going to be tough. And my last thing to add, what's your wild prediction? They do that thing in the NBA. What's your ranking for the EuroLeague top 4 teams for the next season?
Right now?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what they do in States. Don't be surprised. Don't be shocked. Let's play that game.
I'd still go Fenerbahce, Monaco, I'm not sure about Olympiacos. I really don't know what the fuck is going on with contracts. That's the thing. But let's go Real, maybe. And did I say Monaco? Fenerbahce, Monaco. Panathinaikos, Real.
Why you're excluding Olympiacos off the conversation?
I'm expecting some changes.
But what changes? Like, do you see them?
They have the core.
Do you see them like being weaker?
Yeah,
Why?
I think they're gonna shake it up a little in terms of.
But for better, no? Don't you think so?
For better than for worse? Well, I don't know. So I don't know at the moment.
Okay, I see them in top 4 for sure. Olympiacos, Panathinaikos. I think Fenerbahce gonna get better. Mirotic and Monaco.
Get better? What if Hayes Davis and Tariq leaves?
That's a good point.
But
I didn't think about Hayes Davis. I'm kind of prepared for Tariq Biberovic, but I'm not considering him as such a game changer that they couldn't replace in the market.
But most players of Olympiacos are on expiring contracts. That's what.
Not most. Like basically backups, man. Nigel
2, 3,
Williams-Goss,
Yeah.
Luka Vildoza, okay, Milutinov,
7, 8.
Moses Wright,
8 players.
Shaq
That's a lot.
McKissick. We're talking about backups mainly.
That was
Except
their
from
core.
Nikola Milutinov.
Okay. Anyways, your predictions again.
And the 4th team, I'm not so sure about. It's for me, it's between Monaco and Madrid then, I guess, or Fener. I don't know.
What about you?
2 Greek teams. I don't know if Hayes Davis and Tariq leaves, then
I'm not sure about Fener, to be honest with you. Yeah, you made good points.
Just because how they are going to replace those guys.
Too much uncertainty with them, right?
Yeah, but probably I still pick Fener and I still pick Monaco. It's hard for me to not pick
Same as
to not
this
pick
year's.
the Final Four.
I wanted to
this
do the
year's
same,
teams.
but I guess I replaced Olympiacos with Real Madrid for some reason.